In today's video, we're going to have a complete nerd out session on Pam and Tommy. And welcome to part 2 of this deep dive into the Pam and Tommy series on Hulu and Disney+. In this video, I'm going to be focusing mainly on every single outfit that Pamela wore in Pam and Tommy. Yep, every single one. I'm also going to be talking a bit about the transformation, going into the details of the hair, makeup, prosthetics, sharing some little insider secrets about where some of the makeup was from, where some of the costumes, some of the outfits were sourced from. I have some gold nuggets in this video. I also want to make it very clear, because I'm only focusing on the outfits and the hair and the makeup and the aesthetics. Obviously, this was a very controversial show to be made, and I have discussed this at length in part 1 of this video. I wanted to acknowledge the fact that Pamela Anderson did not give consent for this show to be made. Anyway, I discuss all about that in part 1, and also what some of her friends had to say about it, why this could be really problematic for the real Pamela and Tommy. But I wanted to take the time to focus on some of the good things that I liked about the show, some of the creative elements, because I think that the creative team did a phenomenal job. So if you're here just to bash me about making a video about Pam and Tommy, please do watch part 1, because I actually go a lot into the details. I've done a lot of research as well. I wanted to be in keeping with the theme. So I'm in my Pamela Anderson outfit. I've got my biggest push-up bra that I could find on. We are going full force Pamela. With all that being said, let's get on with the video. And of course, there are going to be timestamps below where you can find each section of this video without having to watch the whole thing if you don't have time. And just a warning, this video might have some kind of spoilers through just the images that I'm sharing. So let's first talk about the transformations. Oh my goodness. Actually insane. There was a little bit of uproar on Twitter when the castings came out for this show. People did not think that Lily and Sebastian were going to be able to pull this off. They were like, what? People were making suggestions for other actors that would have been better or look better for the role, but again, it's all about the performance, guys. And I have to admit that when I found out that Lily James was playing Pamela, I was like, what? No, how is that gonna work? In what universe? But thanks to the wonders of hair, makeup and prosthetics, oh my goodness, and also good acting. So most obviously she had this giant boob prosthetic made. I could kind of see in one scene that it looked like it was attached just at the collarbone. She also obviously wore many blonde wigs. They were not going to bleach dye poor Lily James's hair. She also wore blue contacts to cover her brown eyes. She also had little porcelain dentures made, which helped replicate Pamela's mouth a little bit more. It also pushed out her top lip a little bit, which helped with her side profile and just Pamela's pouty lips in general. And then obviously the eyebrows. They did not actually tweeze or shave down Lily James's eyebrows. Lily James has beautiful dark thick brows, and they didn't want to do that, so they decided to cover them up. So what they did is they actually bleached them blonde, and then they put a forehead prosthetic on Lily James's head, and then they had these little lace fake eyebrows that they stuck over the top of that. And according to the makeup and prosthetic department, this was the key to getting this like transformation on point. And it wasn't until they really took the proportions of Pamela Anderson's head and replicated that on a forehead prosthetic on Lily that really like changed the game for the transformation. And they didn't give her any nose prosthetic, any kind of jaw stuff. They just obviously did the contouring to give her that Pamela look, and that was it. She also obviously had a very dark spray tan. They got her tattoo on her arm as well, and also, which I loved, was they also got her birthmark that she has on her arm as well. In the first scene that I saw this, I was like, oh my god, like it actually looks like Pamela. They've even got the birthmark, even the nails, the French manicure acrylic nails that she wore like all the way through Baywatch and all the way through this 90s season of her life. It has inspired my own nails today. Funnily enough, like Lily James's hands look so similar to Pamela Anderson's hands, and it's just little details like that which really just helped her embody Pamela. I think she was probably roughly the same height as Pamela. And then of course the iconic Alexis Vogel makeup, which I'll talk more about in a minute. On Monday mornings, Lily had to be there at 3:30 a.m. to start putting on the prosthetics and makeup and hair, which took 3 to 4 hours every day. And they had to put like a fresh set of boobs on her every day. Although in some scenes I noticed that she didn't seem to be wearing the prosthetic. It kind of looked as though she was maybe just wearing a push-up bra. I could be wrong. And this role obviously meant quite a lot to Lily. She says that it is the hardest, most challenging role she's ever had to play. She said that she read all Pamela's books, she read all Pamela's poetry, she watched every interview she could find, and she picked up on Pamela's cadence because Pamela speaks quite fast. She also like softened her voice to get Pamela's soft kind of voice. Obviously Lily James is British. The accent I thought was quite good. Overall, I think she did a fabulous job incorporating Pamela's hand movements. I even noticed that she like imitated the way Pamela's jaw moves slightly, which was very like interesting attention to detail. The dentures she apparently kept in all day so she could get used to speaking with them, and the prosthetic designer was Jason Collins. The hairstylist was Barry Lee Moe. He made, don't know if he made all the wigs, but he definitely styled them. I found some of the choices for the hair quite interesting, mainly because a lot of them didn't really look a lot like Pamela's hair at the time. But I read in an article that there was a reason for this. So Pamela's hair at that time was always like very messy. It was very beach waves, it was very scruffy. When it comes to film and TV, there are certain things for continuity that just don't really work. And he didn't want her to look like a caricature or like they'd like dressed someone in like a draggy version of Pamela with like the messy hair. So he purposely toned down the hair and gave it more of a polished look. She mostly looks like she's got like quite nice sort of barrel curls in her hair. I don't really think the real Pamela's hair ever really looked like this, but I can totally understand why they made that choice for the show. She's also seen wearing a lot of updos, which I love. She wears her hair up in this kind of messy sort of bun with all these like pieces of hair coming out quite a lot throughout the series. I looked up how to do this on YouTube when I first watched it, and there were no videos. I could only find one which someone had made really early on. I even tried to like play around with it just like in my room. It didn't look very good, but I was just like experimenting with how to do it, and this was before there were any tutorials on YouTube. But now there are tons. There's also lots of Instagram posts about this hairstyle as well. I appreciated that they did kind of give her this kind of unstyled hair looks throughout the show, so her hair wasn't always perfect. So a little bit about the accessories. What I found really interesting was that she does not wear any jewelry throughout the series. She only wears a little necklace in one scene, in the Jay Leno scene, and she wears like a pair of earrings in the photo shoot scene, and actually she's never really worn a whole lot of jewelry. Cameron Lennox said she had a real understanding of her body, and it's almost like jewelry would distract from it. When she wore clothing, it wasn't about how clothing would change the way she looked, it was how clothes would accentuate what she already has and who she is. The only accessories she really wore were a lot of big sunglasses, sometimes like a handbag as well. So let's move on to makeup. The head of makeup for the show was David Williams. Now Pamela Anderson's actual makeup artist around this time was a lady called Alexis Vogel, and she was famous for creating that legendary bombshell sexy look. She also did a lot of the makeup for Playboy models around this time. I think it was around like the 90s and early noughties. She was known for creating like that very specific smoky eye and like big overdrawn lips kind of look that we saw a lot for like glamour models around that time, and that is how I've done my makeup today too. I also found out that she actually used to have like a little makeup course, like this video DVD thing that you could buy, where she would like go step by step how to create this look. And she also sold a little makeup kit with like every single piece of makeup that you would need in it. And she even did a collaboration with Pamela Anderson for a little Pamela Anderson makeup line. Some of the makeup that they used on Lily James, so they used the Stilla cream blush in Petunia. On her lips they used MAC Spice, and some good dupes that are out there apparently are Barry M Russet and Milani Spice. I actually picked up Berry and Russet. It's only $2.99. I personally found that it was a bit too warm for my personal colouring, but Sleek's Locked Up I think is actually very, very similar to Russet. I haven't ever tried Max Spice, but if it's similar to Russet, I assume it's similar to Max Spice, but it's actually got like a nicer kind of more depth to the colour. So I'd recommend Locked Up rather than Russet, but I guess it depends on your skin tone at the end of the day and what suits you. And the lipstick that they used on Lily was Bobbi Brown in Beige 2. And I didn't manage to find any dupes online. I didn't have much time to research that, but I don't own a nude lipstick, so I just put foundation and a bit of lip balm on my lips, which is not a great look, but it'll do for the video. So Sebastian Stan, on the other hand, had to turn his blue eyes brown, so he wore brown contacts. He also had to dye his hair black. They also gave him a keratin straightening treatment, which I found quite interesting because his hair texture was different to Tommy's. He also obviously had makeup and like eyeliner on his eyes. They gave him a fake nose ring. They also had prosthetic nipples as well because Tommy Lee had pierced nipples. And then all the tattoos. It took around 3 hours every morning to put on around 35 individual tattoos. These weren't identical to Tommy Lee's for legal reasons. During that time, there was some tattoos that Tommy Lee hadn't had yet, but they decided to just put on all of his tattoos just to remain consistent. I also noticed in one like close-up scene, you can even see it kind of like peeling away on his skin. And this isn't to like nitpick or like pick out the things that were wrong with the show. I just really find it interesting when you see these little, how something has been done. And then of course he had a fake penis as well. So they put on a whole prosthetic penis and balls and hair and all on top of his real gonads. And also for the penis scene, they apparently had like 2 puppeteers, and I think it was animatronic. And this was actually inspired by Tommy Lee's memoir, Tommyland, where he recounts actually confessing his feelings for Pamela to his penis. This scene was really funny. It was done really well. And yeah, it was probably like quite explicit. So I hope I don't get demonetized for talking about that. It had to be done though. And Sebastian also went on a fast to slim down for the role of Tommy. He also actually spent about 3 months learning to play the drums. He even learnt to do like the drumstick twirl in his fingers. Apparently his fingers were swollen for weeks because he was like learning to do this all the time. Good on him. He like literally smashed it, getting Tommy Lee's voice, the kind of deep like Californian kind of accent, like all the mannerisms. Like he really like embodied like this kind of crazy rock star vibe, and I found it very attractive, not gonna lie. I thought he did absolutely phenomenally. Oh, I also want to make a quick word on the music. I absolutely loved the music choices and the way that the music was used, specifically in episode 2 when they see each other for the first time. I love this scene where Tommy like I think he takes off his sunglasses to look at Pam, and like the music just suddenly changes. And it just adds such a mood, and it just the cherry on top, and it just wraps it all together, and it's just on point. I love all the like zooms that they do. The music choices I loved. I've been listening to a Pam and Tommy playlist on YouTube. Everything down to like the way it was filmed, the editing, the filmography, like can't think of the word for it. Even the writing and stuff. I talk a lot more about the writing in episode 1. Okay, we are finally onto the portion of the video where we're going to be looking at all of our outfits, and I'm so excited. I'm not going to go too in depth about all of them because it will take forever. I wanted to at least look at all of them because So the costume designer for the show was Cameron Lennox. Interestingly, she actually lived in LA in the 90s, so she had a really good idea and like a really good knowledge of what people were actually wearing around that time. She did a lot of like inspiration boards when thinking of the outfits for Pamela. She also took inspiration from bombshells like Bridget Bardot and Marilyn Monroe because these were the kind of inspirations that Pamela had. So the first time we see Pamela is in episode 1, and we only get little glimpses. We don't really see her properly until episode 2. So I love how they really made this build up because it really makes you like anticipate like actually seeing her. Anyway, so we see her in the car and she's in this little checkered top and some sunglasses. I love how they kind of made it like, oh, the cool people have arrived. And then we see her again in this little Jack Daniels vest, top and underwear. Episode 2, when we actually see her properly, we see her in this gorgeous gold dress. So Cameron knew that she wanted to put her in something gold because she wanted her to really stand out in this scene, because this is where she meets Tommy, and she was actually lucky enough to find this Vivienne Westwood gold dress. And Pamela was actually known for wearing a lot of Vivienne Westwood at this time. She also wore a lot of Dolce & Gabbana, Versace and Alaya, I think that's how you pronounce it. So they actually had to alter the dress to fit over Lily's prosthetics, and they had to do that with quite a lot of the outfits that they sourced for her. And the shoes, which I also took note of, these are a pair of YSL black glitter stilettos, and apparently these were the first item that Cameron actually even picked up for her character. And then we later on see her in this little sparkly gold fluffy thing that she's wearing over the top of it. We then see her dressed down, so she's just gotten out of the shower. She's wearing like some tracky bottoms and this little like button up top, and she's holding this little pink mesh outfit, which sadly we don't get to see her wearing very much, but this was actually the only thing that was actually gifted to Lily at the end of the show, so she was able to keep that little pink outfit. I like this scene because you can get a tiny glimpse of what she's packing in her suitcase. I noticed these amazing clear platform pink pleaser heels, also a lot of like platform stilettos as well. You can also see she's got a nice Louis Vuitton bag there. This outfit is insane. This is probably one of my favorite outfits that she wears. All white outfit when she's on the way to Cancun, and she is wearing a pair of authentic 90s Dolce & Gabbana trousers. They had a very specific style and cut that you can't find anymore, so this was such a find for her. I also love that they've put her in these sunglasses, which I personally wouldn't wear, but Pamela did actually wear these. I found some pictures of her. I also found an episode where she's wearing them in Baywatch. And again, no jewelry, she doesn't even need it, and she's got this button up top, and then she wears this so cute little white dress with these little pink flowers all over it, and this is another vintage Vivienne Westwood find. So Cameron actually had to shorten this a little bit just to make it a little bit more Pamela, and she found this at a place called Replica Vintage in LA, and this was the first time I saw that she had the birthmark, and I was like, oh my god. Then she wears this going out clubbing outfit. She wears this sort of metallic glittery sort of halter neck and a little black and gold mini skirt, and I found it kind of funny that in this scene you can see that one of the straps has come down. Again, I'm not nitpicking, but I just find this stuff so interesting. This style of crop top was really popular in the 90s. I always see it in like 90s photos and video footage, and I love that she's wearing a pair of clear pleaser heels in this, the little mule kind. I also have a pair very similar. And then in this little dance montage we see her in the pink mesh outfit, but we don't see the skirt, and we see her in this little kind of latex dress. You only see a slight part of it. And then we see her in a red latex dress, which I believe is inspired by this other red one that she wore, which had like a pink at the top. Pamela was known for wearing a lot of latex, so they did make sure to put Lily in a lot of latex for the show. What was super cool was that they were actually able to find the original company that made Pamela Anderson's actual latex dresses. The company was called Syren Latex, and they actually still had all the original patterns that they used for Pamela's actual dresses. They were able to get a hold of these, and they just like altered them slightly to fit Lily's body. And usually with latex dresses you sort of have to like wiggle into them, but they actually had to attach a zipper on the back of all the latex dresses because they couldn't fit them over her prosthetic, and also they didn't want to ruin the prosthetic. And then we have the wedding bikini, and this of course like is exactly like this. They got this scene to a T. She wears a little white bikini and a little light blue sarong, and she looks identical. And then when they're on the plane home from Cancun, we see her in this little sort of grey jersey dress, which actually has little cutouts on the side, which you have to pay really close attention to be able to see. And she's just wearing a black hoodie, some black sunglasses, and she's wearing a pair of like red sort of knee-high boots. She was very known for wearing a lot of boots. Then we see her in a few more relaxed outfits. She wears a lot of denim shorts in the show. I love these ones they've put her in. They fit her so nicely, and I like that they have these slits on the side. I'm definitely going to try and replicate that on a pair of my own shorts. But yeah, and Pamela obviously was known for wearing a lot of denim shorts, especially through the Baywatch days. And she's just wearing this little Looney Tunes t-shirt, which we see her in later as well. And then we see her in this big oversized denim shirt, which Pamela has actually been seen wearing like a similar shirt quite a lot. And they've just got her in like a little grey tank top and some like beachy trousers, just like casual laid back homeware. Now this outfit in episode 3 is actually my favourite outfit that she wears throughout the whole series, and I'm actually working on replicating this outfit. I am actually coming out of a video soon on some of the outfits from this show that I have like literally tried to replicate, and she wears these super awesome denim patchwork boots and this little blue dress and this long cream cardigan. Some of the first publicity images came out last year in 2021, and I remember seeing this and actually thinking it was Pamela Anderson, and then I realized, wait a minute, that's not Pam. Who is that? And then obviously I realized someone was making a show about her. So then we see her in this little white dress for the publicity meeting. I personally didn't think much of this dress, but it looks great on her. So there's a store in LA called Recess on La Brea. They sell a lot of vintage Escada, so that is where they got the Escada suits for Gail, the publicist. Another great one, Cameron says, is the Kit Vintage on Beverly. She actually sourced the majority of the vintage pieces for Pamela in LA, so I need to book a flight and get to LA. But interestingly, Cameron also says that a lot of vintage dealers sell their things on places like eBay and Etsy. She even says Poshmark is another good one. I'm not familiar with these, but she mentions McCarty, Tradicy, and First Dibs. A lot of great vintage dealers are in Los Angeles. So lucky you if you live in or near LA. And then we see her in a hospital gown. Then I couldn't really get a good shot of this, but she wears this cute little like faux leather pink skirt and this like black t-shirt. I think it's like a band t-shirt, and it looks like she's got a Chanel purse, though I couldn't quite see, and it has a gold chain, and she's just wearing like, seems to be wearing like little black or clear heels. And then I really like this outfit choice. They got her in the blue checkered oversized shirt. It's clearly inspired by this image of Pamela and Tommy literally wearing the same thing. Even her hair looks the same in this image as it does in this scene. So I love the attention to detail on that, and I appreciate it a lot. Then we see her in this really cool top. It's like very plain but like cool. You don't actually see what she's wearing on the bottom half in this scene, but I found a photo from on set, and it looks like she's wearing the same Dolce & Gabbana white trousers as before. We then see her in a Juicy Couture-esque tracksuit. Not sure if this is actually Juicy Couture, doesn't look like it, but it's obviously inspired by. I see her wear this a few times throughout the show. So then we have the obviously iconic red bathing suit. So in order to get the bathing suit absolutely on point, they ended up finding the actual company that made them. It was called TYR. They were actually able to find the exact fabric that the original Baywatch bathing suits were made out of, and they were even able to find it in a very similar red color. So the bathing suits that you see in the show are literally like replicas of the actual bathing suits. However, they did have to change the little Baywatch patch though for copyright reasons, but so amazing. We also even see her in the big Baywatch jacket that they wear in Baywatch. We see her also wearing a grey hoodie in one scene. To me, this hoodie really looks like the hoodies that were popular like a couple years ago with the white toggles. They kind of look like the ones you could find in H&M. And she's also seen wearing a light blue robe. And of course they've got her in the Pam boots, the big Uggs, which she famously wore on the set of Baywatch all the time. They then have her in this funny little outfit where she's got the tracksuit on again and these boots and this big kind of fluffy cardigan coat thing and some big ass sunglasses, and I found her wearing a kind of similar coat. Another one of my favorite looks from the show was this little one-piece 90s gym outfit. I think that this was inspired by the Reebok one that she wore that you can see in a few images. It looks as though she's wearing Reebok trainers in some of the shots in the show. I can't see for sure, but there are a lot of images of Pamela wearing Reeboks, so I imagine that's where they got the inspiration from. She also wears this really nice satin embroidered robe. And then we see her again in the denim shirt with some trackies, and again I think those are Reeboks that she's wearing. And then we have another absolutely iconic outfit that Cameron and Lily apparently talked about a lot, and they wanted to fit it somewhere in the show. So you only see it for a little while, but it's the fluffy white Angora top and the PVC trousers, which Pamela actually wore in a photo shoot that's quite well known. I wish that they had like actually got her in some PVC trousers. I'm sure they had reasons why they chose to put her in more leather looking trousers, but yeah, I love the look and the attention to getting things accurate aside from the PVC. I love this outfit. It's this little black satin two-piece outfit that she wears to meet her publicist. It's very professional looking, but also very sexy. This was another one of the first images that I saw of the show being made, and in that photo she's actually wearing the Uggs with it, which she doesn't wear in the show. I think Lily James probably did go around in Uggs on the set just to embody Pamela a little bit more, because Pamela was known to do that. But yeah, it's fitted so nicely. It looks so bloody good, and it's so Pamela. Like, I don't know how they got things to just have that Pamela touch. Then we see her in a little silky white nightgown. Then we see her in a pair of shorts and this really nice booby button-down top. I noticed in the show that like most of the t-shirts or tops that she wears are some kind of like button down, which I imagine is to accentuate the cleavage. But yeah, I like that choice. I really like the way they look as well. They're very flattering on her. And then there's the one where she's talking to the lawyers, and I absolutely love this choice because I know exactly where this was inspired by. There's an image that I posted on my Instagram back in about 2016, and she's wearing this really cute cozy sweater. I knew instantly that that is what it was inspired by in this scene. So she's wearing this kind of creamy beige cable knit sort of look sweater. She's got a little handbag there as well. We don't see what she's wearing on the bottom. She wears a lot of mini skirts. We see her in this little grey turtleneck top with this little very light pink mini skirt. In bed, just wearing tracky bottoms, and again, like a button down kind of top, which again accentuates the cleavage. Then we see her in this really cute little beachy kind of outfit. I think this is very Pam. Pam did wear a lot of beachy outfits, a lot of like pale light colours. And so she's wearing these kind of beachy trousers and this really cute little top. Okay, now I need a moment to talk about this. I was so excited when they did the flashback scenes. I really didn't think that they were gonna add in like some of her past, but oh my god, it filled me with so much joy. She's obviously discovered at a sports game, and she was wearing a Labatt's blue t-shirt on. The camera that would go around the audience, it like zoomed in on her and like they showed her face on this big screen, and that's basically how she was discovered. And then this like modeling agent guy comes up to her afterwards and gives her his card, and then you see her in this waitressing outfit, and she actually did, apparently she worked at a pancake house with her mum, so apparently this is accurate. And then they have her in this little kind of like 80s outfit. Didn't think much of it, but it's just this like, again with the jean shorts, little floral vest. But the very special thing about this scene is when they zoom in to the poster on the wall. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, because this is obviously like a replica of an actual poster that she did, her first ever commercial, like her first, I think it was her first modeling job, which she was the blue zone girl for Labatt's blue beer. And they even made the poster look exactly like the actual image of her. In that image, she looks super young, like she looks like 13, but I think she probably was about 21, because obviously for a beer commercial you had to be 21 in America to even drink beer, so I imagine she was 21 or over. But I love that they added that in. And then we see some more outfits and looks from her from the 80s. We see her hair is different. I love this hair actually, and this like cute little 80s outfit, long skirt and this like denim vest thing. And I actually really like the pink cropped halter neck. It reminds me a lot of, so Christina Applegate wore this like very similar one that I noticed in Married with Children in the 80s. So then we obviously see all the photo shoot outfits. She's in this little like satin pajama top, white underwear and blouse. Again, this is one of the only scenes that we see her with jewelry. She's wearing these earrings. So Cameron says she sourced a lot of really lovely lingerie from a place called Palace Costume in Los Angeles. And I think That is where she found this piece that she's wearing here from. Then we see her in some pajamas. Again, she's wearing the denim shirt here and a pair of white trousers, white capris. Then she's got the deposition outfit, which was obviously inspired by the real outfit that she wore. It's very, very, very Pamela. And it's just this little blue suit. And she's also got this big black bag. It doesn't seem that she's wearing many designer bags, but then again, I don't think they're allowed to show specific designers because of like product placement. The same denim shorts again and a little grey crop top. It looks like it's just a vest that has been cut. Then we see her in this little black sparkly dress while she's pregnant. She also wears this white coat with it, but we don't see it much. And then we've got the Jay Leno outfit. So this dress is absolutely gorgeous with these high slits and this square neckline. And this is a vintage Versace couture dress. And Cameron found this through a vintage dealer called The Find Vintage. And they were also able to find the little ruby cross necklace. Again, this is probably the only time you see her in a necklace, pretty much exactly the same as the one she wore on the actual Jay Leno show. I went through a full scene analysis of this scene in part 1 of this video. I thought it was such a great scene, really interesting. I also compared it to the original interview that she did, so don't forget to go watch that one. We then see her in a white robe, a button-up blouse and a long cardigan. She seems to really like her like very cozy long cardigans, and it makes sense in the show because she's going through a lot of stress, she's pregnant, so naturally she'd be drawn to wearing more comfortable, comforting clothing whilst going through this crisis. And again, all kind of shades of whites and nudes and stone colours. And then we see her in the famous latex dress that she wore on Jay Leno. She's also been seen wearing it in other pictures as well. In the show, they've actually got her in this dress pregnant. It was noted that they just thought that it was something Pamela would do, although she didn't actually wear this dress while pregnant, I don't think. Couldn't find any photos of her pregnant in it. Incredible, amazing, love that they added this in. And I also have to note that Tommy's outfit in this is amazing too. We then see her in this little peach dress as she goes for an audition. Then we see her in another large checkered shirt. She seems to really like the large checkered shirts, and she did wear these a lot. I even saw her in Baywatch wearing these a lot as her character CJ. Another white button-down shirt and a pair of white shorts. And we see her in a very similar nightdress as before, but this one's a bit longer. We see her again in the long cardigan. She's wearing this really cute little floral white dress. It looks really similar to this image that I found of her from the 90s. We see her again in the robe. We see her briefly in this coat and her famous silver rimmed sunglasses. And then she's wearing this kind of very strange but very Pam dress. I feel like Pamela's outfit choices were quite strange, but they always looked good on her. This actually reminded me of this dress that she's wearing in this photo shoot. This top that she's wearing, she wore in a few other scenes. I love the sleeves on it, and this looks to be like a maternity top. It kind of looks like something Abercrombie and Fitch or like Hollister would design. Then we see her in the same top again with some white trousers. In this last episode, she's wearing this big white knitted jumper. And then the very last outfit that we see her in, again, you can't really get a good shot of this, but she's wearing again the little pink pleather skirt with a A-line zip down the front, and she's also got this black cropped top on. And what I love about this is it's kind of like a tie-up at the bust kind of top, which looks great on her. And you can't see what shoes she's wearing, but that's it. So for Tommy, I didn't really do much research into Tommy's outfits, but his main color palette was a lot of black, white and red. Interestingly, the G-strings that they had him wear, they actually couldn't find any big enough to fit over the prosthetic penis. In the 90s, they were cut in a very different and specific way back then for like a very different kind of look. So Cameron actually had to go on like a bidding war on eBay to win a pair of cheetah print G-string male underwear. And from that pair, they then made a pattern and like made other pairs that were inspired by that specific cut. eBay, ladies and gentlemen, and I actually do shop a lot for vintage clothing on eBay because I tend to be looking for something very specific and it's always really hard to find, but I have found some gems on eBay, so never rule it out. Oh my goodness, we've got to the end of the video. That was a lot. Let me know in the comments if I have missed any outfits. I'm pretty sure I got all of them, but there might have been a couple I missed. I found one just just this morning that I'd missed and I had to quickly add it in. I hope this was interesting for you. It certainly was for me, like doing all this research, finding out all this information about where things were sourced from. If you live in LA, you're welcome. I'm so sad there's only 8 episodes. I literally didn't want it to end. And I will be coming out with my Pam and Tommy outfit recreations as soon as I can finish making those damn boots. Do let me know if you like this kind of content. I know it doesn't really get a lot of views on this channel. I know doing this little series was kind of a risk because not many people have watched it, but I don't care. I just wanted to make a video about something I was really passionate and excited about and interested in. So here you go. If you want to see more from me, see some of my vlogs and some other extra content that I bring out, check out my Patreon below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this Pam and Tommy nerd out session, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Mwah.